Hey guys, it's Lisa from the blog farmhouseonboone.com, and today I want to share with you a pregnancy update. So these last few weeks and next week are just crazy. We took our family to Michigan to go to the lake. I shared that on my Instagram. If you follow me over there, you probably saw some photos. And then I had one day back, and then I had a retreat at my friend who is a blogger. I'll link her here. She has a YouTube channel as well. But she hosted 6 different bloggers at her lake cottage. It's actually local to me, so I was able to drive there. It's like a really good opportunity to go because I learned so much at those things. She made it a point to have some people who are skilled in different areas of their blog so we could all share with each other and learn things to grow our businesses. So I have some cinnamon rolls baking in the oven because I'm going to be sharing that recipe on the blog this week. I thought to kind of update you all, I would do something very YouTuber of me and just sit down and talk to the camera, which is not something I've done in a while, but I actually really like doing. It's just a good way to share kind of more personally what's been going on in our lives because the recipes and the DIYs don't really share that. So currently I am 33 weeks pregnant. Time gets away from me. With this being the 6th child, I'm not at all in that I'm so ready, I cannot wait for this to happen phase. I'm kind of still like shocked that we're gonna be having a baby soon. I haven't done anything to prepare at all. And I'm just trying to get my blog in order and everything kind of scheduled and ready so that I can take some time off, maybe just share some chatty videos here after the baby's born and not have to do too many DIYs for a good while. We'll see how that all goes. So anyways, life feels busy. Physically, I'm feeling so great. It's probably so far been my easiest pregnancy yet. I really don't know why. Maybe it's just with having 5 other kids and a business from our home, not having much time to think about it. I mean, I know that so much of it is not in your head because I've seen people who are so sick and uncomfortable that no amount of thinking is gonna get them over it. So I know that's not obviously totally it at all. But any little discomforts have probably just escaped my mind if there are any. My varicose veins are showing, but they don't hurt, not even a little bit. Now I have a trick for that, which I attribute that 100% to taking magnesium. I learned this with my 4th child. It's the Natural Calm magnesium supplement. I'll actually probably go further into this video into my supplements that I take that I think have helped contribute to an easy pregnancy. So physically there's nothing to report. I mean, I'm large, obviously. I'll overlay a shot of me here at 33 weeks pregnant, but it's not really bothering me other than bending over to get things off the ground. I don't even hardly notice that this belly is here. Now baby moves a ton. I was just laying down this morning and saw like the foot go across my belly, and that's always so fun. So baby's active, doing well, and I cannot say I've felt much discomfort. I haven't really been extra tired. I really don't have anything to complain about now. As soon as I stop shooting this video, I'm probably gonna have something, who knows. But so far at 33 weeks pregnant, I feel great. As far as baby goes, I'll kind of update you on what's happened throughout the pregnancy. So currently I am doing every 2-week appointments with my midwife. At the 28-week appointment, she was really concerned because baby was transverse. And I was thinking, isn't it a little bit early to worry about this? And so I wasn't getting overly concerned. And sure enough, by the next appointment, baby had flipped head down and was head down at 31 weeks. And then I believe is still head down. I'm pretty sure has stayed head down now for about 4 weeks. So all should be well there. Still not in optimal position. Baby is still face up, which I did birth 2 of my babies face up. Wasn't my favorite thing in the world to do, but it is definitely doable. But this baby, of course, still has plenty of time to get into the optimal position. And my midwife gave me several exercises to do to encourage that to happen. My midwife did already tell me, actually, that she thinks my placenta is located on the right side, not low, because she put the fetoscope there and she could hear the baby's heartbeat, but it sounded like it was kind of distant and through like a swishing sound. So I'm pretty sure the placenta is right here and not blocking the cervix, so likely we'll find out that all is well there. I've had no symptoms of placenta previa or any reason to suspect it. It's just one of my big home birth fears that I have just personally. She isn't at all worried about it, but it's just something that I always like to check. I think that's all I have to report on baby. There's really nothing else to say. I guess physically I forgot to mention that I had my glucose screening at the last appointment. Now my midwife does this differently. Instead of having me drink the sweet drink or juice, she just sends you home with one of the diabetic screening things, like a little finger poke and a little machine that tells you your blood sugar. And she just asks that over the course of 2 days, you do your first morning check and then 30 minutes after each meal. So it's just kind of a way to determine how your body's really handling sugar and not like an artificial amount. It was kind of a pain, honestly. I was kind of like, ugh, I don't want to do this throughout the day. I'd almost rather her just have me drink the drink and take my blood, but that's not how she does it. So all checked out there. I've never had any markers for glucose, thankfully. Now I did have super low iron. So I have this every time. We do eat red meat. We eat things like green leafy vegetables, all the things that have iron, but my body does not do what it's supposed to with it. And so iron is always low, and especially during pregnancy. So I've known this going in, and I started taking iron right away. But the iron pills that I bought, I did not pay very close attention to the dosage on it. So when I was in for, I guess, my 27 or 29 week, I don't even remember, she tested my iron and it was well below what she wanted it to be, and almost even to the point of not allowing me to have a home birth. So that was very concerning. She had me pull up the supplement that I'd bought, and she noticed that the milligrams was actually a lower dose. So it's something that if you have normal iron levels, maybe take during pregnancy, take one of them. She wanted me to take 4. So when I went back for my next appointment 2 weeks later, I had immediately implemented the 4 a day, and it had shot up to like well into the normal good range. So we're back on track for home birth being fine. The reason that's such a problem is if you don't have the right amount of iron or oxygen in your blood. I think that's how, I'm not a nurse. You could, after you have the baby, lose a lot of blood, and it would be an emergency situation. And so she does not like to, if your levels are, I believe, below 11.5, she wants you to get them up. And if they're below 10.5, she won't even deliver at home. So that was kind of concerning, but we're all good now. As long as I keep taking my 4 iron pills plus my prenatal, which is a lot, I'm good to go. And it helps me to feel better too. I don't feel tired. There were some times in this pregnancy where I felt really tired, and looking back, that had to be why. Now I had severe low iron with my second child, and with her, I was like adamant that I wasn't gonna take any iron supplements. So I made myself tinctures with some roots and some herbs. It was supposed to completely cure my iron deficiency. I also took liver pills. I felt so weak with her. I had major ice cravings. I had to have my husband stop and get me ice at Sonic because they had this nice soft ice. Ladies, if you have that, it's not normal. Having an ice craving means for sure that you have, well, I guess I can't say for sure. You should look into your iron problem. Another thing that she had me do was start taking 5,000 IUs of vitamin D. She said that my labs came back low for vitamin D. I guess I'll just go into my supplements now because I'm kind of getting into that. I do take a lot of supplements during pregnancy. This is something that is controversial, I feel like, a lot of times. Health-minded people especially, which I am, natural health-minded people tend to say, you know, supplements are, you know, not something you should do a lot of. You should focus on food. I completely agree with that. But there is a lot to be said for what supplements can do for you. So for example, I have more than one pregnancy where I tested positive for group B strep and then used supplements to test negative again later. Now I know that it can come and go, but I have reason to believe, due to some very high levels, that it actually was very much affected by my supplements. So I take supplements seriously, and I take a lot of them. First of all, this is the prenatal I've been taking since the very beginning. So in the beginning of pregnancy, I don't take a lot of extra supplements. I kind of start amping them up towards the end as my body is needing more help and I'm getting closer to delivery. So these are good. They have iron in them, but I have to take additional. They're food-based, which I really like. I will link all of these in the description below. This is another thing I take always, not even just during pregnancy, always. This helps me with so many things. It makes me feel so good. When I don't take it, I know it. So I take the normal dose during pregnancy. It's the natural calm magnesium. I take 2 teaspoons a day, which is 81% daily value. So it's not even like a crazy amount, but it helps with digestion a lot. And that can lead to a whole host of other problems. So if you aren't going regularly, which can happen during pregnancy especially, that is what causes so much discomfort with varicose veins. I know this from research and from personal experience. And if I do not take my magnesium, my varicose veins start hurting again. With my 3rd child, I hadn't figured that out yet. And I dealt with some pretty severe varicose veins. They hurt so bad, discomfort all day long. When I discovered this, and I discovered that if I took it every single day, my veins, though they don't look great, feel fine. They don't even hurt a little bit. And I 100% attribute it to this, because if I forget for a few days, I notice the problem coming back. So if you do have painful varicose veins in pregnancy, try it. Let me know in the comments below if it ended up working for you, because I am sold on it. All right, this is the iron. I've bought a lot of these by now. They're from Thrive Market. 1 capsule is 100% of the daily value, which if you don't really have low iron, you don't really want to add extra iron, and you definitely want to keep these away from your kids, because taking too much iron can be devastating. It can really harm you and your children. For me, my prenatal, which you take twice a day, plus this 4 times a day, makes me feel great during pregnancy. Iron can be constipating, but with magnesium, that's all balanced out, and I don't have any trouble with that. I'm taking the Thorne vitamin D. My midwife recommended this. It's a droplet. I take 5 drops a day. She wanted me to take drops. That's just what her preference is. I guess it assimilates better. I used to spread it throughout the day, but now I just take 5 right away in the morning so that I don't forget. For my Group B strep, I'm taking 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. I was just taking the food-based vitamin C, but she actually wanted me to amp it up toward the end of pregnancy by taking more. So the food-based one doesn't provide near the daily value that this does. And so it's just a generic vitamin C that I got on Amazon. And I take 1 of these per day. It's good to take it with iron, because vitamin C helps the absorption of iron, while calcium kind of blocks the absorption of iron. So I take this with 2 iron pills in the morning. I take garlic. This is Oregon's Wild Harvest garlic. It's very strong. It smells terrible, like very, very garlicky. This is for my Group B strep. I'm not gonna go super into detail on that, mostly just out of not wanting to be controversial. I take Group B strep seriously. So I know people think that if you're a home birth mom and you're taking all these supplements, that if you have Group B strep, you're just gonna say no to all the interventions and you're not going to do anything about it. That's not true. I take it very seriously, and if I do test positive again for Group B strep at the end of my pregnancy, I will request the antibiotics. Now, my midwife does not recommend that, but it's just my conservative approach. I've heard both sides. I've done tons of research, so I'm really not gonna go into depth on that. But my first choice is to find ways to make it go away, and that's usually worked for me. So I'm really not worried that I'm gonna have to get the antibiotics, but if I test positive, I will. It's my balanced approach of I'm gonna make sure that I don't have it, but if I do, I will take the conventional medicinal approach, and my midwife does have the ability to do that. She doesn't recommend it, but she can. She also has me take grapefruit seed extract for the Group B strep. Now, this is again another controversial supplement. You'll read all kinds of reasons why you shouldn't take it. All I know is my midwife told me to do it, so I am doing it, and only at the end of my pregnancy. I haven't been taking this the whole time. Again, I just don't want to test positive. Now, I also take probiotics. I have some that are specific for that area. There are certain strains of probiotics that are good, and some that, you know, kind of target other areas. So I still drink my kefir, my homemade yogurt, my sauerkraut, but I do take quite a few every day of a certain probiotic. It's in the refrigerator, so I didn't get it out because it preserves the living cultures to keep it in the fridge, but I will link it below. I believe that's it for supplements. I know you're probably saying that's it. Like, You only take 500,000 things. It does make me feel so good. So when your vitamin D's low and your iron's low, you are gonna have issues with feeling tired. If you aren't going regularly and so you don't, have enough magnesium, you're gonna have issues with varicose veins. Magnesium also helps rest at night. I feel like I've avoided so many discomforts with these supplements. As a mom who's this is my 6th baby, I just know how I feel when I don't do these things, even when I eat a healthy diet. So though I want to believe diet like 100% will cure everything, I also know how I've felt when I haven't added these things in, even by taking herbs. And I also know that I don't eat the perfect diet. We go on vacations, we go out to families' homes, I cook from scratch most of the time, but there are times when my diet just isn't perfect. For lunch today, we're having cinnamon rolls. Yes, they are sourdough cinnamon rolls, but that does not mean they are perfectly healthy. And these just really help to fill those gaps for me and make me feel so good. So I think that's all I need to share on my pregnancy. We are preparing for the home birth. I actually haven't done anything yet, but there is a list of things that I need to go get. Let me know in the comments below if that would be interesting to you to know what you need to get for a home birth. It's pretty basic. I'll probably just round all that stuff up in one day, probably after our vacation. I do plan to share my preparation for the baby essentials and what I'm getting for the baby in a future video. I did one of those when I was pregnant with Micah, and it's gonna pretty much be the same things, mostly. There is a few things that I've discovered since then that I find helpful. You guys know I'm pretty minimalist with that. I've actually bought nothing for this child yet, but when I do go shopping for all of that, I will definitely let you know and share with you what I find you actually need for a newborn. All right, well, I hope that you enjoyed this little life/pregnancy update. Maybe I will share another one if there's any new developments. Hopefully there won't be. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're brand new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I make tuna videos every week on food from scratch, natural living in a handmade home. Thank you so much for stopping by the farmhouse.